Good morning, Mr. Maestro. Mr. Maestro. Simple. Leverage. It's February 13th, so really the second Friday. This is February 26th, 2026.
David, Mr. Lynch, David, slide the Mr. Lynch, can you hear me from here? Because, and if he can't believe it. It's a Friday. It's a Friday. Once again. Here in Naples. Today, after many days with totally bad white cloudy sky, also with rain and wind, today it seems totally clear, not totally clear, closer to the totally clear day sky atmosphere in general. Maximum we consider mid, perhaps one over mid is agitated. Pratically is equivalent variable is practically an agitated means sun and clear day alternated with two cloudy or cloudy day scatters in general, vice versa. In general is clear and is clear, and it also seems perhaps also with the wind plenty considered perhaps more liquid and cold, this is one, and it's really afternoon 13 and 35 minutes. 16 and 16 Celsius, this means that it's really cold, and it's really qualsiasi agitated winter period. So sta cosa per si può considerare effect diciamo tra le fuori della stagione serentina, questo è che teoria per campo fuori su per quanto riguarda si guarda la spazio esame in genere esame, ma la spazio esame in particolare la persona non deve effettivamente formare con la spazio esame fi body, also effect we overcome fuori della stessa di autunno, now also not winter overcome them, and to realize December 21 in particular anzi at 16:03 or 4:03 p.m. in Italy. Ora sarà perhaps non remember finché poi sono poi non c'è niente suppose I'm sure I'm sure but where is it remember things for sim so it's intense my proposal perché io ho scelto which one is better no perhaps paradox for you for me really those variations sono the spring esame di auto si specca the spring soft for esame di agitato for those auto once again soft so that in general for the season so as a KGT, as a release, at least me, was something to say if you absolutely incomplete. Wet not because considering period it's cold, it's winter, it's cold. So we complete the complete, but when I see that it's absolutely incomplete, I'm very feeling most referred to me, in particular, perhaps for this period for the fact or things effect non feel cool, wet feel cool less. Andata più thanks to season practice weather to practice in particular the follow the news in some years which also test for the cold when it comes winter period winter weather was period always what the content check has been with to practice in this case I will take flexible first part of the content the asterisk so some other test not to practice repeat this first part of this content the asterisk where enough so appear from anything not for the fact that it cold Friday anything yes or no is penso that I think 9 and 10% if it cold or in general in some way for me was good still not scattered in general see for sure as everything just for me it's really beautiful this seems to be some of you It's a Friday once again, as uno fisso fuori la serie Friday. It's a Friday once again, as uno fisso fuori la serie Friday. It's a Friday once again, as uno fisso fuori la serie Friday. Lasci number do this. Lasci number do this. Fantastic electric red, blue and white razor. This is the sixth nello storico tra the previous crashed because the fifth, the previous, crash in the week of 8 Friday ago. I also lost count in this thing, precise day which it crashed, but the week should be it. Detto è, let's say that I mentioned more, so this speech at the moment more, it's better this speech for the previous reason. The fifth, this way it stayed with me, maybe 6 months and more than half, and yes, it was the blue, black, beautiful black, red, and also white, that in the morning comparison with the previous, where I also lost count in incorrect effects of the fact this reason, in particular, like the effect of the, and I also lost count in incorrect effect of the quick butter breakfast, and but I promise you it one day or one time, so I touch better so better, basis that to teach just to say to show to you, just to show this razor to you. However, yes, this is obviously, and this is new because this is good because it's new, and only for one is that my bed sleeps 30 minutes, better she 30 minutes. And with this now only in one round because yes is new and is good, so now I should bet show to you and say bet because with this zoom because perhaps just before it's well, so blue white slightly different model in comparison with the rest, so for the colors it remembers for me the fourth because it's also fourth was blue white, but in this case light blue. And for other aspects also first one second also the reports were, and also it once again this is a six razor also the reports, and in general this is for channel resta vloggings what about instant time also mi consiglio mi sa che hanno sotto il page per fare una chance at this point as much for music some also se penso also io also io dici per io. Being a really afternoon, I think at remember when this is I read it just before 16 Fahrenheit 16 Celsius. But l'importante è che sia senti vedi. Just before today, it's beautiful. Ruska se questa scena non sono io, ma è finito in questo video bisogna studiare dei palaces. Now I'll see as I see these things for later when the sun in general session in particular came out. The first thing is fact I'll sing for the Simon extract or better the refrain for a classic one but song sulle mie because the sing it became a bit of mine non last per some perhaps some remember I don't know if they follow me non last per some I think a boy so tu sola, più bella di oh sola mia, sta in fronte a te, oh sola mia, sta in fronte a te, sta in fronte a me, sta in fronte a te. Se fa capo scaso questa scena non sogna mede, and this is the second thing, fact that questa scena che matto ben tolle per il leader, sublime questa scena. In consistenza, the third thing is fact it's impossible. Sarà persone eseguiti se chisi, è impossibile, abbiamo della crisi sotto chi siete, questa scena c'è chi siete. Or yes, until now, considering the video, change of hours of more into consequence, last Saturday of October, effect, hour before factory, the non from we'll have them sun sky for other practically 3 hours, no, 2 hours and 55 minutes, or less, maximum or less, compared to the years. Because you know, we are completely different time. In my judgment, or my view, also as a time, also schedule, but better say in general time. Well, so sees from the Dico, winner new what 14 new flowers long flowers mixed with plants is 14 since last time one yes November 1 time mangating sus perfect the previous particular third party fatto deep and only for the sono set per su cortino su beautiful recording the beautiful painted we bench sort deep and the passage from the press to the cortino the things ready to met fact deep and the passage ti fa che non le passage fra per scrutare non le things ready to met se ready to comment the comment section or in case one of my comments the comment section should be the point third and fourth comment or perhaps fourth comment or one of them is read the comment section or I don't know if you can see another 30 when it's a shot near me from later finko yes see the long flowers single flowers green flowers long flowers mixed between the plants. Or if not, even better, surely better, the shot part is the first part of the video which will show you where the scatter stranger in classical mythical room, in classical mythical window, in this classical mythical room, because as a absolute known is also the other mythical window, the other mythical room. Or, from a Boerto perspective, also from this other particle is the shot similar to classic shot of Mondanti perhaps really fantastic really on November 1, 2022, but we don't remember exactly where surely more than interesting for the best scrutiny bit, beautiful recording, beautiful the bench strap, so the first thing was the reports color recording if and remember exactly this, surely verrà recording still in quadri medio vicino, one day sono time sulle cigite, or yes, and but I was saying this shot so related to the fact factor of one reason the glory shoot and also one reason but one reason because case measure si read a little speech sentence also si che for the scrutiny repeat beautiful recording beautiful print image raps sono used for the first scrutiny nostro report la cortina if I don't remember exactly this. Also in this case I don't remember exactly this, now also in this case I read it for this new cortina so but repeat expression also in this for 5 times. Yes, this little speech sentence it is, but also and always better visible for me in its entirety. Green is shot, this one is mythical legendary shot. As regarding the issue, the rate of nativism at fantastic nativism is first days of last October, but it's important only because important that also days nativism and also in the special sentence also read because it's so valuable, also read, so repeat once again, but also and always better visible for me in its entirety, within this shot, anticipanti mythical or legendary shot. And finally, from a mythical keyboard, Ajax 40 PG 625 also in this case is making a generation shot. And since a few weeks ago I also filmed a new shot, that was January 24th, which I showed you the actual condition of the keyboard, better the actual condition since December 2nd, 2024. Yes. Getting the people of 100% getting it where? Sono buone messe, sono myself, posso scherzo. And finally, I hope you get breakfast. Let's let in general, not so much, I see let me for myself, if not at all, because in fact, as I made in September 31, I took a for this time, it's late in general for the people, it's late above for my record, but not at all for my else. For my else, so kind of normally to make breakfast. It's in the winter period, but it's midtime, it's late.
But all important is that it's very from the regulations. The man treat was salary, factory breakfast, the internet assembly, the start with the internet met drinking milk, the internet parte met it was yesterday, think at regoli, the cose non three so sraccio, ma ti repeat, I do the close the regolo, it was super mouse, it is no, more no, yes, it's just full. Era just roll, obviously, just so in quote, 1335 news. But l'importing should see embassy in some way also today fortune with us so nem meridiani. And thus we always see. Breakfast sono most buildings are full. Absolutely. Now, so no since most of but this point I think it should be more than one, yes. I also going to think like the effect of the XOR from Riso. So in Riso, but at the moment, but say the X from Riso, the fifth nel solo the quartz crash in the week of 7 Friday ago, and it was a beautiful red, black, and also white that in fact more than comparison with the previous to remember to me from some aspects. The first race. The second, so all things that perhaps not if they follow me Fridays or whatever, I think Body, so Body, which in general all my videos, all my other weather reports, yes, this should be done in but I promise you that one day or one time as long as I'm better to attention these things or million this speech and from these running shots obviously it's a joke also most money but in some ways all assume and for Sarah biscuits are my favorite fact there are many beautiful combos with beautiful biscuits and yes I think one of the best types are the chocolate chip cookies or the cookies with chips chocolate chips and if you're optimistic also for the biscuits from Mr. But in particolare, two things I was read and this was one about link fact to this shot from get coffee music. Those are quick shock and fact as you can test. From the other shot fragment video, so I shot training fast I think 7-8 months sono sì che sa lo sto conto ci sta video sono tempo 5 better the was no more as quick because it finished now this once again so pro tit once again it's I think 225 26 27 inizio sì che sa lo sto conto ci sta video sono tempo 5 better so since that moment today I bought insert it once again the milk so very good news and we need also the fact that it was a breakfast or questa bomba si mira in particolare a me bomba e in funzione sì che si last period se gioco soprattutto con Massonia su of course I'm living to the first time so that period and if insieme non siamo stati toll and it was a breakfast so questo è mega bomba second thing is about siesta in Ferrari siesta da Conad Italian cereals mi sa second position perhaps also executive first position with the Bamat second position Mi cosa? Attraverso la position minerale vitale in Babbo Dark Shock Chipasias. Fa cosa? A due comandamenti io. Mi cosa? They are really super bad. Adesso, tomorrow si può fare un time, perché non ti tomorrow ho quello l'epa. Ma ora sì. A bit of visible. San Jose c'è partito, nassi two things about repeat two things as before. Last time, effect شو إذا عشان كمان تبين طلع beautiful lead sublime عشان in sense three things effect it's possible and beautiful lead كيس تو كيس عشان تو كيس once again. And if I think we're close, yes, in an hour, I think it should be an hour, now we're in 20 minutes, yes.